Hello YouTube, just a comparison between the Crusader II cook set and the Bushbox stove. You can look on my other videos, see the description below about a fuller review of each of those. I just want to tie the two together in a comparison and share my thoughts about which one might be best and for why. So they both burn similar fuels. They can both use this Esbit stove, which you can keep alcohol in there, and the lid with the O-ring here can keep that sealed, or you can carry spare fuel in one of these bottles, and I've never had a problem with that. That's really quite sturdy, the proper bottle for that thing. And both of them will take the Esbit. Another fuel you can use, another fuel they both use is this bioethanol gel fuel that can be carried in this container. And as you see in the videos, I've got two containers I can carry that in. Little shoe polish one, I don't think that would be very watertight in a rucksack, and the other round one, which is an ex-hair product tin, that seemed to be fairly airtight. Now between those two fuels, which one would you rather have leaking out in your rucksack? If this bag got punctured, you've got alcohol gel, which would be quite sticky and tacky all over the place. This one is a much sturdier container, unlikely to be punctured except in an extreme situation. If you carry it in this stove, that's in a metal container, which in this is packed and protected in there inside the bag. You might not like to get the alcohol fluid running all over the place, but it wouldn't be very convenient to clear up the alcohol gel either. Another main fuel they take these hexamine tablets. I've got some small round ones here, got cheap. You can get these in all sorts of places, all sorts of products. You can get really expensive ones, you can get really cheap ones. Check the special offer ones in all sorts of places. I mean, I've seen them in sports shops as well as hiking and camping stores as well. The big difference between these two cookers are the sizes. This packs down into that little bag. Look at that, that's within a hand. That can fit in a back pocket, or those side trouser pockets you have in certain shorts and trousers these days. This one doesn't pack up any smaller than that. However, you will be carrying your fuel, you'll probably be carrying water, and with the Crusader II you can have a bag like this, and that and the cup and the bottle that's got water in it, and then of course you can pack your fuel down here in the bottom, certainly can with the Esbit Trangia stove, and that will fit. So I'm going to zoom in a moment. That can fit in that bag. You've seen that on the other reviews. So as you are likely to be carrying these things, is it really much more space to be carrying the cooker? The good thing with the Bushbox is that you can just set it up, and with your mug, a stainless steel mug or any kind of metal mug, you can just perch it on top, which would be a lot less than that Crusader II setup. But it really is swings and roundabouts. You can't really burn wood in here. You'd have to continually feed it, which would be a problem, whereas in the Bushbox you can. But you'd see in the Bushbox review video that I did, wood takes about 17 or 18 minutes. Would depend on the kind of wood you're using and the conditions and how well you keep that fire going. You would have to sit there and continually feed it, whereas with this one, the fuels that you have, you can just let it go. So the acid test, I think, is to look at this lovely sheet that I have prepared. So down the bottom here, firing up the same amount of water as all the other tests with a gas stove takes 4.5 minutes. Pretty good, pretty standard. When you're burning alcohol, on the tests that I did, Bushbox and the Crusader II, 4 seconds difference. given the not perfect reliability, we can say that's pretty much the same. So no real significant difference between those two fuels, or sorry, between those two cookers with that fuel. When it comes to the gel, however, just over 18 minutes for the Bushbox, 9 minutes 30 in the Crusader. Much more efficient in the Crusader. And you're looking at more or less half the time in the Crusader II, which is significant, obviously. The hexamine tablets, just over 11.5 minutes in the Bushbox, just over 6.5 minutes in the Crusader. Almost, you're getting near to half the time. So again, much more efficient in the Crusader. The Crusader, however, is incompatible with burning wood, whereas it is in the Bushbox. So it's all swings and roundabouts. The Bushbox, with its capacity for burning wood, means you can go out into the forest and you don't have to take any fuel, you can just burn the wood. The Crusader II, the fuel that you do take, is a much more efficient use of time. And as these fuels will just burn without any regulation, you can therefore say it's much more efficient in the fuel that they use. Certainly with the alcohol stove, the Esbit stove, Trangia stove, you can snuff out the flame and save the fuel you don't use. You can do a similar thing with a gel. It'd be very hard to do with a hexamine, I think. So really you're looking at preferences. I guess it's always useful to have a Bushbox on you. If everything else fails, that could be clipped together. It's small to carry, it's not going to be cumbersome to cart around. You can put it in a pocket somewhere in your rucksack and forget about it, or in the car somewhere, and you're never without fuel if you're in a wooded area. Crusader 2, if you're going on a day's hike, you're going to be taking your water with you and various other things. It's not that much extra if you carry that in that nice pouch. You've got everything there with you in one handy kit, and you can fit your utensils, your lighter, your fuel in one pouch, but it is bigger than the Bushbox. So I can't say that on every aspect that we're looking at here that one stove is better in all those aspects. You can look at each stove, each has its pros in some areas, its cons, relatively speaking, in another. I'm going to be using both, and maybe after many years out in the field I can come back and tell you which one I favour. But really all I can do at the moment is say that's where it is, and it's up to you to make a choice. I just hope that's been informative. Thank you for watching.